I never knew a single text message could destroy the last pieces of hope I had left for my dad. When he wrote, "Don't expect help from me," something inside me cracked. But hours later, when my CFO called about the IPO, my dad suddenly showed up again. And that's when everything exploded. My name is Riley. And I swear the universe must hate timing, because the text came just as I was zipping my graduation gown. My phone buzzed, and I smiled for half a second, thinking maybe Dad remembered what today was. Then I read it. "Don't expect help from me." That was it. No congrats, no proud of you, not even my name. I stared at the screen until Harper walked in and said, "Riley, why do you look like you just saw a ghost?" "It's Dad," I whispered, holding up the phone. "This is all he sent." She grabbed the phone, read it, and hissed, "You've got to be kidding me. He actually typed that today. What kind of man does that to his own daughter?" "The kind I was unlucky enough to be born to," I said, trying to laugh, but my throat felt tight. Mom knocked on the door. "Sweetheart, are you almost ready? People are waiting." She stopped when she saw my face. "Riley, what happened?" I held out the phone without speaking. She read it silently, her jaw tightening the way it always did when Dad's name came up. "I'm sorry," she said softly. "I thought maybe he'd show a little humanity today." "I didn't," I admitted. "But it still hurts." Mom sat beside me on the bed. "You deserve better than the crumbs he offers." "Yeah," I whispered. "But why does it still feel like I'm 7 again? Waiting for him to show up to the school play and pretending it didn't matter. When he never did." Mom reached for my hand. "Because you loved him, and he never knew what to do with that." Before I could answer, Harper cut in sharply. "Okay, no more crying. Not today, not for him. He doesn't get to ruin this." I wiped my eyes and nodded. "Right, today's supposed to be happy." But my chest felt heavy, full of old bruises I never learned to name. When we got to campus, the noise and excitement felt like someone else's world, not mine. People were taking photos, laughing, hugging their parents. Everywhere I looked, dads were adjusting ties for their sons or fixing caps for their daughters. I tried not to stare. Harper bumped my shoulder. "You want a distraction?" "God, yes, fine." She said, "Think about Liam. He's giving that little speech for his department today. He's going to freak out when he sees you graduate." I smiled a little. "He better. He made me rewrite my capstone 4 times. He made you brilliant." She said, "And he believes in you more than your father ever tried to." I inhaled sharply. Sometimes I wonder if something's wrong with me, like maybe Dad left because. "No," Harper snapped. "Don't you dare finish that sentence." Mom stepped up beside us. "Your father's choices were never about you, Riley. They were about him, and Denise, and the selfish world they built together." I swallowed hard. "Yeah, I know. It just feels different when the wound keeps reopening." A familiar voice called from behind us. "There she is, the star of my department." I turned to see Liam walking toward us, holding 2 coffee cups. "I got your favorite," he said, handing one to me. "And before you panic, no, it's not a caffeine bomb." "I know you're already shaking." "I'm not shaking," I lied. He raised an eyebrow. "You always shake before big moments." "What happened?" I exhaled slowly. "Dad texted." Liam's expression darkened. "What did he say?" I handed him the phone. He read it once, then again, like he couldn't believe it. "He sent this today, on your graduation day." "Yep." That's. He stopped searching for a word strong enough. "That's cruelty, Riley. You didn't deserve this." I felt tears rise again. "Why does it still get to me?" "Because you're human," Liam said. "And because you kept hoping he'd try." "But hope is heavy when you're the only one carrying it." My voice cracked. "I hate that he still has this power." "He won't forever," Liam said. "Not if you stop giving it to him." I looked at the stage ahead, the rows of chairs, the sea of families. "I'm trying." Harper squeezed my arm. "Then let today be about everyone who stayed." "Me, your mom?" "Liam, not him." Mom kissed the back of my head. "We're your family, sweetheart." For the first time that morning, warmth pushed back against the ache. "Okay," I whispered. "Today is mine." Liam smiled. "Good. And when you're standing on that stage, I want you to remember something." "What?" "You did this without him. Every achievement, every step, every late night, every win was yours." I closed my eyes and let that sink in. The hurt didn't disappear, but it loosened enough for me to breathe again. "Thank you," I said. Harper grinned. "Now go graduate so we can scream your name." As I walked toward my row, the text still sat in my pocket. "Cold, sharp, predictable, but for once, it didn't define me. Not today. Not anymore." I was still wiping the last trace of Dad's text off my cheeks when my phone buzzed again. I groaned. "If that's him," I muttered. "I swear, but it wasn't him." "Mason," I answered, trying to steady my voice. "Riley," he said, breathless. "Are you sitting down?" "No," I said. "Should I be?" "Yes, sit." "Now, I'm not joking." I dropped onto the nearest bench. "You're scaring me." "What happened?" He laughed an excited, shaky laugh. We did it, the board voted, the IPO is approved. The announcement goes out in 30 minutes, my heart froze. Wait, what, today? Yes, today. He yelled, and listen carefully, your shares, Riley, you're a millionaire, overnight. I covered my mouth. No, Mason, that can't be right. It is right, you earned every cent. Without you, we wouldn't have survived the downturn. I've told the board that 100 times. My hands shook so hard I had to grip the phone with both. I don't know what to say. Well, he said, most people scream, cry, or faint. Feel free to pick one. I think I'm doing all three. He laughed again. I'm proud of you, Riley. This is only the beginning. When he hung up, I stared at the screen. Like it was lying to me, a millionaire, me. The girl Dad wouldn't even text congrats. My phone exploded with notifications, pings, buzzes, calls. Like the world suddenly remembered I existed. Harper ran toward me. Why do you look like you just got hit with lightning? I shoved my phone at her. Read the call log. She scanned it. Mason, why would Mason wait? Her eyes widened. No way. Did it happen? Yes, I whispered. The IPO is official, she screamed so loudly people turned. Riley, you're rich, I'm something. I muttered, I don't know if I'm breathing. She dropped next to me. How much money are we talking? Like treat yourself money or please buy me a boat money, Harper, I said, laughing and crying at the same time. I don't even know how to process this. My phone buzzed again, then nonstop. Who's messaging you? She asked. I checked the screen. People I haven't heard from since middle school. My Aunt Laura, she didn't even come to Mom's birthday. And now she's sending, hey sweetie, so proud of you, let's reconnect soon. Harper snorted. Yeah, reconnect with your bank account. I scrolled through more messages. My cousin Dylan is asking if I remember the bond we used to have. We spoke twice, at funerals. Block him, she said, block all of them. Another notification popped up. Harper leaned closer. Who's that? I felt my stomach twist. Denise. Oh, you've got to be kidding, Harper whispered. The message read, we always knew you had something special. So proud of you, honey. I choked on a laugh. She used to call me that girl, now I'm honey. Harper's face twisted. And we, please, she never liked you. I kept scrolling. Numb and overwhelmed. I don't know how one moment can flip everything like this. Because money reveals people, Harper said. Sometimes faster than love does. Before I could answer, my phone rang again, and the name on the screen made my breath stop. Dad. I froze. No, not him. Not now. Harper grabbed my wrist. Do not answer, but I did. Because part of me needed to hear what tone he'd use. Dad, I said. His voice slid through the speaker, warm like melted sugar. Riley, sweetheart, I've been trying to reach you. My chest tightened. Did you see the news? Oh, of course, I've been following everything. I've always believed in you. Lies. So many lies. I swallowed. You sent me a text this morning. He hesitated. Ah, yes. That, you know how I am. Stressful morning. Didn't mean anything by it. It felt like something. I said, come on, Riley. He said gently, don't be sensitive. Today's huge for you. And for us. I repeated, well, yes. He said lightly, family celebrates together. And supports each other. I was thinking we could sit down and talk about your options. I closed my eyes. My options, financial ones, he said. You know I guided you early in life. This success, well, we all had a part in it. My heart cracked clean in half. You weren't there. I whispered, you didn't guide anything. His tone sharpened. Don't start with that. Just meet me. We'll talk like adults. I hung up. Harper stared at me. Riley, you okay? No, I said, because for a second, he sounded like the dad I always wanted. And now I feel stupid for almost believing it. She pulled me into her. I kept telling myself not to go, not to sit across from Dad. Not to let him pretend he cared. But something inside me needed answers, even if they hurt. So when he texted, let's meet at the cafe, I replied, fine. Harper begged me not to. Riley, he'll twist everything. I know, I said. But I need to hear his lies to finally stop believing them. When I walked into the cafe, Dad stood up like he'd been waiting all his life. Riley, there's my girl. His voice was too bright, too sweet, to practice. Denise sat beside him, smiling like a politician. Hi honey, you look beautiful. I forced myself into the seat. Let's skip the pretending. Why did you want to meet? Dad laughed awkwardly. Straight to business. I don't have time for games, I said. Say what you came to say. He cleared his throat. Well, we wanted to congratulate you. The IPO is huge, thanks, I said flatly, and he added, leaning forward. It's a moment for family to stick together, you know. Support one another, emotionally, financially. There it was, the shift, the real reason. I stared at him. Financially, he smiled like it was obvious. Of course. We've always supported you. You haven't. I cut in. You left. Denise jumped in. Sweetie, your father never stopped caring. I felt my jaw clench. He sent me "Don't expect help from me" on graduation day. Dad waved his hand. You know how texts get misinterpreted? No, I said, that one was pretty clear. His smile tightened as the mask slipped. Riley, don't make this difficult. We just want to talk about how we can all share in this moment. Share, I repeated. Share what exactly? Prosperity, he said. After all, if it wasn't for my early influence. I laughed, actually laughed. Your influence? Dad, you weren't there. Yes, I was, he insisted. I always encouraged you. I leaned back, my voice shaking. Name one event you showed up to. One, a single time you acted like my father. He opened his mouth, but nothing came out. Denise touched his arm. Mark, maybe we should. I've got this, he snapped, then turned to me again. Look, you're being emotional. We're trying to build a relationship here. A relationship based on what? I asked. My bank account. He sighed heavily. Stop acting like a victim. We're family. I stood abruptly. I'm done. But as I walked toward the bathroom, I heard Denise whisper harshly, you push too hard. She's not giving you anything. Dad muttered back, annoyed. Well, she should. If she thinks she got here without me. My hand froze on the bathroom door. Got here without him. He wasn't there for my birthdays. He didn't show up to my competitions. He forgot to call me when I got accepted into college. I pressed myself against the wall and listened. Mark, Denise hissed, just remind her of the sacrifices you made. What sacrifices? He scoffed. I barely saw that kid. But she doesn't need to know that. She'll pay something if she thinks I helped build her career. A cold wave shot through me. He knew. He knew he wasn't there. He just didn't care. My throat tightened until I couldn't breathe. I stepped back into the hallway. Interesting conversation, I said loudly. Dad jerked, eyes wide. Riley, how long were you? Long enough, I said. Long enough to hear the truth you never wanted me to know. Denise stood. Sweetheart, you're misunderstanding. No, I snapped. For once, I understand perfectly. Dad raised his voice. Don't talk to her like that. Like what? I cried. Like she helped you plot how to get money out of me? He slammed his palm on the table. I'm your father, and I'm your what? My voice cracked. Your wallet, your regret, your inconvenience. He glared at me. You're being ungrateful. Something inside me broke. And then something else formed, stronger. Ungrateful, I whispered. You left me with nothing, no support, no love, no effort, and now I'm ungrateful because I won't pay you for being absent? He stood inches from my face. You owe me respect. I owe you nothing, I said. Not anymore. Denise grabbed her purse. Mark, let's go. She's emotional. I wiped my tears. I'm not emotional. I'm awake. Dad's lips thinned. You regret this? No, I said softly. I regretted loving you. This is the first choice I feel good about. They walked out without another word. For a moment, I just stood there, trembling, breathing hard, feeling the weight of every childhood wound lift just enough to let light through. I didn't know if I felt powerful or shattered, maybe both. But for the first time in my life, I wasn't afraid of him anymore. After the cafe disaster, I blocked both Dad and Denise. No long speech. No final warning. Just silence. Harper called the next morning. Did you sleep? A little, I said. It feels weird, like something heavy finally fell off my shoulders. That's not weird, she replied. That's healing. Liam texted too. Proud of you. Talk when you're ready. Mom came into my room with tea and whispered, I'm relieved. Riley, I've waited years for you to choose yourself. I didn't know how. I admitted. You do now. And she was right. I threw myself into my work. Meetings, planning, hiring. Traveling. My days felt full for the first time. One evening, Harper leaned across my couch and asked, when's the last time you cried about him? I thought about it. I don't remember. That's growth. She grinned. Annoying, painful, slow growth. Liam visited during one of those long work nights and said, your confidence is different. You stand taller. I feel taller. I laughed, like I finally stopped shrinking around people who never deserved the space. He nodded. Good. Keep going. Months passed quietly. Then Karma stopped being quiet. Harper burst into my office one morning holding her phone. Riley, you are not going to believe this. What happened? She sat across from me. Your dad lost his job. I froze. What? How? She shrugged. Budget cuts. Or maybe he just burned too many bridges. The man was not exactly a joy to work with. I didn't smile. I didn't laugh. I just breathed. Wow. Double quotes. Mom called an hour later. Honey, I heard about Mark. Are you okay? I think so, I said. I don't feel happy. I don't feel sad. I just feel nothing. That nothing, she said gently, is freedom. But Karma wasn't finished. A week later, Harper walked in again. Part 2. What now? Denise left him. I blinked. Already, she moved out. Took the car apparently, and half the savings. I let my head fall back against my chair. Of course she did. You okay? Harper asked. I am, I said quietly. It's just, everything I used to fear is happening without me lifting a finger. That's karma, she said, quiet, slow, no fireworks, just balance. I thought that would be the end of it, but karma always circles back. My phone rang while I was reviewing quarterly projections. The number wasn't saved, but I recognized it instantly. I stared at the screen for the longest 10 seconds of my life. I answered. His voice was small. Riley, honey, I need to talk to you. I swallowed. What do you want? I've had a hard time, he said. I lost my job and Denise, she's gone. I'm alone. I'm sorry to hear that, I said because I meant it. Pain isn't something I wish on anyone, not even him. I was hoping, he continued, you might help me, just until I get back on my feet. There it was, the same pattern, the same reaching hand. What kind of help? I asked. Money. He admitted. I know you have plenty, and I'm your father. No, I said softly. He stopped. No, I repeated, I'm not giving you money. He inhaled sharply. Riley, please, I'm desperate. I know I made mistakes. Mistakes, my voice cracked. Dad, you didn't make mistakes. You abandoned me, you ignored me. You only called when you wanted something. And now you're doing it again.